Hey there friends, welcome back to another Legally Armed America video. I'm of course Paul Glasgow here. Super short video for you today. I'm going to get to that here in just a second. I'm working on some pretty cool stuff for the next couple of days. Actually, just a quick heads up. Believe it or not, if you watch my video from a couple days ago where Sig Sauer put out their social media announcement that it ends now, but the Sig P320, the director of operations for Sig Sauer has reached out to me. Not sure what they want. I did return the call today, or at least the text. He sent me his cell phone number, so I reached out back to them to see what we could talk about. Because what I want to do is, and I don't want to beat the guy up, but I'd like to have him come on the show and discuss Sig's angle, first of all. Like, why did you put this out? And let him talk about a little bit more of it. And again, it's not a gotcha thing. It's not a setup. I'm not trying to, I don't want to beat the guy up. Seems like a nice enough guy. Actually, big props to him, much respect for reaching out to me, even though my video was not completely flattering for Sig Sauer. I was pretty critical of them, although I do like some of their firearms in the brand. So again, more on that later, and I've got some other projects I'm working on as well. But I wanted to talk about real quick, Marco Rubio put out really early this morning, which I was a little impressed that he gets up early, like at 4 a.m. But he put out a post on X stating that they were ending up to 83% of the USAID contracts, totaling billions of dollars, that passed through the State Department, and the rest of the USAID, in other words, the remaining 17% contracts that were out there, would all now follow permanently or fall permanently under the State Department, meaning Marco Rubio's organization. So there would be an oversight person for that. There was a weird dotted line from USAID to the State Department before. Now there's an official reporting hierarchy that will be administered there. So at least there's going to be somebody. Like up to now, there's been nobody on the hook for the stupid, wasteful, fraudulent things that have taken place in USAID. Now I want you to think about this. They deemed that only 17% of the contracts running through USAID were legitimate or served an actual humanitarian purpose. We can talk about the humanitarian purpose all day long some other time, because I don't agree. As long as we have veterans and homeless people, starving children, as long as we have that here, I never will agree to one dime leaving the borders of the United States. Never. I'm sorry. Not really, but I feel the need to say that I'm sorry for those that will lose their minds. As long as there's an American suffering, we should not be worrying about somebody else's suffering being taken care of. We can still feel bad for them, and we can still, out of the goodness of our hearts as American citizens, send them stuff out of our own private pockets if we want to. But the federal government has a responsibility of taking care of Americans. And until everybody is fat and sassy and says, I'm full, I don't want to see my dollars going overseas to buy a bowl of rice for anybody. And again, if that hurts feelings, deal with it. Because I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with myself making that kind of a decision, a determination about Americans being taken care of first. Now, think about another thing. Knowing that all of those contracts are fraudulent, waste, you know what it is. It's usually top-heavy stuff. It's administration stuff. So somebody gets $1 billion, they pay themselves $950 million to run the organization, and they give a couple of crumbs over here and a couple of bowls of rice to somebody and go, we're saving the world. Well, they're not. They're getting really fat, and they're kicking some of that back to those politicians who are allowing that to happen. But think about this. Who's the loudest and who's the most vocal right now about that 83% that are waste or fraud? Who's the loudest? Wouldn't you agree that those who think that it's the worst thing in the world to do away with this stuff are more than likely the ones who are benefiting the most from it? Sometimes things tell us what they are without us having to dig very far. I think the loudest people out there right now are telling us that's where we need to look, and we should be looking there. Marco Rubio, talking to you, Big Daddy. Guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, fingers crossed that I'm able to get the director of operation from Sig Sauer, to come on here and talk to me about the P320 and why they saw the need rather, to put out that post saying that it ends now. I'm just curious. I mean, I'm really curious. And again, I was pretty critical of that post in my video from a couple days ago. Go check it out, and hopefully we can follow back up with that interview.